There's a quiet truth that lives beneath all the noise of manifestation advice. A truth so simple that it often gets overlooked. You don't attract what you want. You tune into it. For most of our lives, we've been taught to reach for our dreams, to visualize harder, to pull things from the universe into our experience. But what if the universe isn't something out there that needs to be convinced or called upon? What if it's a mirror reflecting only the frequency that you're vibrating on right now? Imagine standing in front of a radio. You can twist the dial searching for your favorite song. The song already exists. The broadcast is already being sent. You don't create the music. You simply adjust your tuner until the signal becomes clear. That's exactly how reality works. The love you desire, the peace you crave, the abundance you seek, all of it is already broadcasting within the quantum field. You don't attract it by force. You align with it by frequency. When people first hear this, something inside them softens. There's a sense of relief because suddenly life doesn't feel like a constant chase. It feels like remembering. Think back to the moments in your life when things seemed to flow effortlessly. You didn't struggle to make them happen. They unfolded naturally, almost as if the universe was conspiring in your favor. In those moments, you weren't chasing or begging reality to change. You were already tuned into a state of ease, confidence, or love, and the outer world simply reflected it. Now think of the opposite. The times you tried so hard to attract something, a person, an opportunity, a dream, but no matter how much you visualized, it just wouldn't come. You repeated affirmations, you wrote lists, you tried to think positive thoughts, but deep inside there was tension. A subtle feeling of it's not here yet. That tension is a frequency mismatch. The more you push, the more you remind yourself of the gap between what you have and what you want. And so, you keep tuning into the static instead of the signal. That's the paradox of attraction. The harder you try to attract, the more you affirm that what you want is separate from you. But in truth, nothing is separate. Every version of you already exists within the quantum field. Every possibility, every timeline, is waiting for you to step into it. You don't need to reach across the universe to grab it. You simply need to shift your vibration until your reality matches that version of yourself. You see, the universe doesn't respond to words or wishes. It responds to resonance. If you say, I want abundance, but feel scarcity, you're tuning into scarcity. If you say, I want love, but deep down feel unworthy, you're tuning into lack. The universe isn't judging you, it's mirroring you. It can only echo the vibration you send. When you understand this, something profound happens. You stop trying to attract and you start aligning. The shift from attracting to tuning is subtle but life-changing. When you're trying to attract, you're operating from the frequency of desire. When you're tuning in, you're operating from the frequency of embodiment. Desire says, I don't have it yet. Embodiment says, it's already who I am. And reality always rearranges itself to match who you are being, not what you want. So the question becomes, what frequency are you tuned into right now? Not what you wish for, not what you think you deserve, but what energy you're living in moment to moment. Are you tuned into gratitude or lack? Into trust or control? Into surrender or fear? Every thought, emotion, and belief is a signal you send into the field, and the field reflects it back with uncanny precision. This is why true manifestation isn't about learning to manipulate energy. It's about learning to match it. It's about remembering that you're not separate from the frequencies you desire. You are the receiver. You are the dial. You are the signal itself. And the more you quiet your mind, the clearer the transmission becomes. As you listen to this, notice how your energy begins to shift. There's no effort here, only awareness. You don't need to become someone new. You simply need to stop vibrating at the level of resistance. Alignment doesn't mean pretending to be happy all the time, it means coming back to coherence with yourself. When you are internally at peace, the external world begins to organize itself around that peace. You've never been chasing your manifestations. You've only been chasing the feeling of alignment. The outer goals, the relationships, the opportunities, they are just symbols pointing you back to that inner frequency. When you stop seeking and start tuning, you realize that the universe has always been speaking in the same language, energy. And you've always been fluent. This journey begins not by asking, how do I attract what I want? But rather, what am I currently tuned into? Because once you change the station, the song of your life changes automatically. Reality doesn't need to be forced. It only needs to be received. For most people, the phrase law of attraction has become almost sacred. A promise that you can draw anything you want toward you if you simply think and feel the right way. But this belief, though empowering at first, hides a subtle illusion. It suggests that what you desire is somewhere else, that it must travel across time and space to reach you. It implies a distance between you and your dreams, and that distance becomes the very barrier that keeps them away. You begin to imagine the universe as a kind of cosmic delivery system, one that must be convinced, manifested, or ordered correctly to bring your desires to your door. But the truth is there is no delivery system. There is only vibration, and vibration does not travel. It is. This illusion of attraction begins in the mind. The ego thrives on separation, the feeling that I am here, and what I want is over there. It loves the chase, the striving, the endless pursuit. It turns manifestation into a race against yourself. The harder you try to attract, the more you strengthen the vibration of not having. And so, even when you are saying affirmations of abundance, you are often radiating scarcity. Even when you are visualizing love, you are often broadcasting loneliness. You're sending out a signal that says, I want this because I don't have it. The quantum field, which responds only to frequency, mirrors that lack perfectly. That's why some people spend years manifesting without results. They think manifestation means convincing the universe to give them what they desire, rather than realizing they must become a match to the version of themselves who already has it. The moment you believe you must attract, you've already declared that it's separate from you. You've already created a vibrational gap that must now be filled with effort, rituals, and frustration. Think of someone who wants to manifest love. They visualize a partner, write affirmations, create vision boards. But deep inside their energy says, I'm alone. The frequency of loneliness is the station they are tuned to, so the quantum field mirrors it. They meet people who reinforce their fears, situations that make them feel unseen, and experiences that reflect their inner broadcast. The universe isn't punishing them, it's perfectly tuned. It always gives you. This is why the idea of attraction can be misleading. It makes you think that reality is a negotiation. That if you act right, visualize enough, or say the perfect affirmation, the universe will reward you. But the universe doesn't negotiate. It reflects. It doesn't give you what you ask for, it gives you what you are. That is the essence of tuning. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and asking your reflection to smile first. You wait and nothing happens. Then you get frustrated and say affirmations about how much you want your reflection to smile. Still nothing. The mirror can't move first, it's waiting for you to shift. This is how the quantum field works. When you smile, it smiles back instantly. When you radiate love, love meets you everywhere. When you embody abundance, life reorganizes itself to mirror that energy. Attraction says, I'll get it when it comes. Tuning says, it's already here waiting for me to match it. The illusion of attraction also creates an emotional dependency. Keeps you stuck in waiting energy. You may wake up each morning asking, where is it? Why hasn't it come yet? That question carries the vibration of absence. Every moment spent waiting is a moment spent reinforcing that you don't yet have it. It's like tuning your radio to static and wondering why the song never plays. The signal was always there, but your frequency wasn't aligned. At a deeper level, this illusion stems from our conditioning. We live in a world obsessed with doing, achieving, and earning. We've been taught that to get something we must first deserve it. So, we apply that same logic to the universe. We think we must earn our manifestations through effort. But energy doesn't work through effort, it works through coherence. The more you try to force the outcome, the more you create friction. The more you surrender and become the outcome, the more reality flows effortlessly. There's a moment that comes for every conscious creator when they realize that what they've been trying to attract has been around them the entire time. The money, the love, the peace, they weren't hiding. The person wasn't ready to receive them because their frequency was still tuned to wanting, not having. The universe cannot send abundance to a frequency of scarcity. It cannot send wholeness to a vibration of self-doubt. You can only experience the reality that matches who you are being right now. Let's take the example of abundance. Many people say, I want more money. But the frequency of wanting is the opposite of having. The more you want, the more you confirm that you lack. To tune into abundance, you must embody it, not financially at first, but emotionally. Feel gratitude for what you already have, however small. Feel the energy of safety, expansion, and generosity. Those emotions are the frequency of abundance. When you live there, the outer reality has no choice but to match it. This is the pivot point, where the old paradigm ends and a new one begins. The old self tries to attract. The awakened self learns to tune. When you stop asking, how do I get it? And start asking, how do I match it? Your energy changes instantly. You stop chasing outcomes and begin cultivating states of being. You stop trying to pull energy toward you and instead rest in the awareness that all energy already exists within you. From this awareness, everything starts to make sense. You realize that you've never been separate from your desires, only from the version of yourself that could perceive them. You've never been waiting for the universe to deliver, you've been waiting for yourself to align. And the moment you shift your frequency, the moment you become the energy of what you seek, the illusion of attraction dissolves completely. In that stillness, manifestation becomes effortless. It's not something you do, it's something you remember. The field doesn't need to be convinced. It's simply waiting for you to step into the broadcast of the reality you wish to experience. When you understand this, the struggle ends. You realize that everything you've ever tried to attract was never running from you, it was patiently vibrating, waiting for you to tune in. The idea of tuning into reality becomes clearer when we understand how the quantum field truly operates. Everything that exists, from the smallest particle to the vastest galaxy, vibrates with energy. Each vibration carries a unique frequency, a signature pattern that determines its form, experience, and expression. In this invisible field of energy, infinite versions of reality coexist simultaneously. Every thought, every possibility, every outcome, all of it is already encoded as frequency. When we talk about manifestation, we're not creating something new, we're shifting into an existing reality where that experience already exists. Imagine walking into a room full of radios, each one tuned to a different station. The music filling the air depends on which radio frequency you choose. Change the dial and the song changes. But the other songs didn't disappear, they're still broadcasting, you're just not tuned into them. That's exactly how the quantum field works. Every timeline of your life, the abundant one, the struggling one, the joyful one, the lonely one, they're all broadcasting simultaneously. Your consciousness is the dial. When you shift your inner frequency through thoughts, emotions, and identity, you tune into a different version of reality. Quantum physics has long hinted at this. Experiments show that the observer plays an active role in determining what becomes real. The particle becomes a wave until it's observed, collapsing into a specific state only when consciousness interacts with it. This means reality is not fixed, it's fluid, responsive, and deeply personal. You are not simply living in the universe, you are co-creating it through your observation and vibration. Every feeling you emit sends a message into the field, and the field echoes it back in physical form. This is why emotions are so powerful. They're not random chemical reactions, they're vibrational indicators, guiding you toward alignment or disconnection. When you feel joy, gratitude, or peace, it's not just that you're feeling good. You're harmonizing with higher frequencies of the quantum field. You're aligning with versions of reality where those emotions naturally exist. Likewise, when you dwell in fear, doubt, or resistance, you're tuning into timelines that match those lower vibrations. The universe doesn't punish or reward you, it mirrors you. It simply gives form to the vibration you sustain most consistently. Think of your energy as a radio tower. Every thought and emotion you broadcast sends out a signal. That signal attracts experiences that resonate with it. If you're vibrating at the frequency of "I am enough," the field begins to show you evidence of worthiness. People who appreciate you, opportunities that align with your strengths, moments of synchronicity that affirm your value. But if your internal broadcast says, "I'm not ready," the field mirrors hesitation, delay, and struggle. The energy doesn't lie, it only responds. This brings us to one of the most profound realizations. Everything you desire already exists. You don't need to attract it because it's already alive in another vibrational layer of the quantum field. The only question is, are you tuned to that layer? You cannot experience a reality that you are not a vibrational match for. That's why affirmations, rituals, and visualizations only work when they shift your state of being. If you say, "I am abundant," but feel anxious and unworthy, the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibration. To tune in, you must learn the art of energetic matching. This begins by understanding that your thoughts are electrical, your emotions are magnetic, and together they shape the frequency you transmit. Thoughts send signals out, emotions draw matching experiences in. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, the frequency becomes stable and reality reflects it quickly. But when they're contradictory, when you think, "I am abundant," but feel, "I am lacking," the frequency becomes noisy, unstable, and mixed results appear. One of the most powerful metaphors for this is musical resonance. If you strike a tuning fork tuned to 440 Hz next to another instrument tuned to the same frequency, the second instrument will begin to vibrate automatically. They harmonize because they share a vibrational match. But if the frequencies are mismatched, there is no resonance, no amplification. The same principle applies to you and your desires. When you vibrate at the same energetic tone as your desired reality, it cannot help but materialize in your experience, It's not magic, it's physics. This understanding also reframes the concept of manifestation speed. Things don't come faster because you attract harder. They appear faster because you reach coherence faster. Coherence is when your inner world stops contradicting itself, when your mind, heart, and energy are in agreement. In that state, time feels fluid and manifestations seem to arrive effortlessly. This is why alignment feels so peaceful. It's the sensation of being synced with the quantum field. Now imagine this. There's a version of you that already has everything you desire. They're not in the future. They exist right now in another vibrational frequency. The only thing separating you from that version is your current energetic state. Every time you raise your frequency, through gratitude, presence, or love, you move closer to embodying that version. Every time you lower it through fear or control, you drift further away. The shift doesn't happen in the outside world, it happens inside your energy first and then reality follows. Science and spirituality converge beautifully here. The observer effect shows that consciousness influences matter, while ancient mystics have always said, as within, so without. You are both the observer and the creator. You are constantly collapsing possibilities into form through your vibration. Every thought is a command to the quantum field. Every emotion is an instruction that tells the universe what to mirror back. The beauty of this is that you are never stuck. You can change frequencies at any moment. You can step out of a timeline of struggle and into one of flow by shifting your emotional signature. The key is awareness, noticing the frequency you're currently emitting. Are you tuned into trust or fear? Are you vibrating with love or lack? Once you become conscious of your broadcast, you can consciously retune it. And here's the profound truth. You don't need to fight or force this process. The quantum field is infinitely intelligent. When you let go of resistance and choose alignment, the field automatically brings coherence. Reality reconfigures itself to match your new state. The universe doesn't need effort, it only needs resonance. So, manifestation is not about pulling something toward you, it's about stepping into the timeline where what you desire already exists. You're not sending out a signal hoping it returns as a gift, you're aligning yourself with the broadcast that's been playing all along. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop chasing outcomes and start cultivating states. You stop thinking of the universe as distant and start experiencing it as immediate, intimate, and alive within you. Because in the grand design of the quantum field, you are not a small being trying to attract something bigger. You are the field itself, expressing different frequencies through the lens of your consciousness. Every time you shift your vibration, you are not changing the world, you are changing the version of the world you experience. And that is the true art of tuning in. As you begin to truly understand this concept, something inside you softens. You stop trying to manipulate reality and start aligning with it. You begin to see that the universe has always been speaking to you, through the subtle shifts in your emotions, the synchronicities that appear out of nowhere, and the quiet inner knowing that tells you when something feels right. Alignment isn't about control, it's about cooperation. It's about flowing with the current instead of swimming against it. The more you tune in, the more effortless life becomes. You start noticing how everything begins to move in rhythm with your energy. Opportunities appear naturally. The right people cross your path at the perfect time. You no longer need to chase what you desire, you simply match its frequency. The external world reflects the harmony you've cultivated within. Effortless alignment is not about sitting still and doing nothing. It's about taking action from inspiration rather than fear. It's the difference between forcing and allowing. When your actions are guided by alignment, they feel light, natural, and fulfilling. You stop doubting whether things will work out because you can feel that they already are. In this state, gratitude becomes your natural vibration. You begin to thank life not because you've received something, but because you are aware of how connected you are to everything. That awareness creates a magnetic field around you, one that effortlessly draws matching experiences into your reality. This is the space where manifestation becomes a dance, not a struggle. You no longer chase outcomes or measure progress. You live as if the universe and you are playing the same melody. You move, it responds. You think, it creates. You feel, it flows. And in that rhythm you finally understand, you never had to attract anything. You only had to remember how to tune in. When all the layers of understanding finally settle, there's a calm that fills the space, a kind of knowing that doesn't need words. You begin to realize that everything you've ever wanted has never been far away. It was never waiting to be delivered. It was always right here, humming in the background of your awareness, waiting for you to tune in. Manifestation was never about summoning something external, it was about remembering who you truly are, the observer, the signal, and the field itself. The art of effortless alignment begins when you stop treating reality like something to conquer. You no longer chase outcomes or demand timelines. Instead, you begin to live from resonance. Every thought becomes intentional, every emotion becomes sacred, and every moment becomes an opportunity to harmonize with your higher frequency. The game of life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like music, a song that unfolds naturally when you stop trying to control the rhythm. The reason alignment feels effortless is because it's your natural state. You were never meant to live in resistance. Resistance is learned. It's the result of believing you are separate from the universe, that you must earn your blessings or work to attract what you desire. But alignment is what happens when you return to the truth that you are the blessing, and you are the source. The universe doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and energy all vibrate in harmony, reality flows with grace. Things unfold without struggle, because struggle only exists when you believe you must do the universe's job for it. As you integrate this understanding, life starts to feel lighter. You begin to notice that manifestations arrive not through control, but through clarity. When you are clear, the field reflects that clarity back instantly. When you are at peace, the field mirrors peace in your relationships, your work, and your daily experiences. There's no longer a sense of trying. Instead, you live in a continuous state of allowing, trusting that the vibration you hold is more powerful than any action you could take. Effortless alignment doesn't mean you stop desiring. It means you desire differently. You no longer desire from lack, but from fullness. You don't say, "I want this because I don't have it." You say, "I desire this because it is an expression of who I already am." That shift changes everything. The energy of wanting pulls reality away, the energy of knowing magnetizes it instantly. Desire, when born from alignment, becomes a form of celebration, not a cry for help. You no longer chase the dream, you express it. You live it energetically first, and physical reality has no choice but to mirror that vibration. There is deep peace in realizing that you never had to earn your manifestations. You only had to remember your frequency. Every dream that calls to you is not random, it's a signal from the timeline where it already exists, inviting you to meet it halfway. When you quiet your mind, when you breathe, when you allow yourself to be present, you can feel it. That quiet pull toward expansion, that soft hum of possibility, that's the field guiding you toward your own resonance. Follow that feeling and you'll always be on the right path. The more you live from alignment, the more you see that external results are secondary. The true manifestation is the shift within you, the peace that no longer depends on circumstances. From that peace, everything else flows naturally. Relationships heal because you no longer need them to validate you. Opportunities appear because you radiate confidence instead of desperation. Money flows because you stopped holding scarcity in your vibration. The external world becomes effortless because your inner world has become still. This is the essence of tuning in. You stop asking, "When will it happen?" and start saying, "It's already unfolding." You stop pushing and start allowing. You stop trying to attract and start resonating. Alignment doesn't mean you ignore reality, it means you create from within it consciously. It's the art of moving through life with grace, knowing that every moment, every breath, every thought is a frequency you're choosing. And so, the journey comes full circle. You began by believing you had to attract what you wanted. You end by realizing that you've been the frequency of it all along. You are not separate from your desires, you are their source. The love you seek, the abundance you dream of, the peace you long for, they are not outside of you. They are vibrations waiting for your awareness to tune in and amplify them. When you understand this, you begin to live differently. You speak less, listen more. You stop rushing and start noticing. You stop doubting and start trusting. You move through life as a conscious transmitter of energy, knowing that the universe can only reflect what you radiate. Every moment becomes an opportunity to align, and alignment itself becomes your practice, your peace, your power. So, as you close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply, feel that quiet connection between you and everything that exists. Feel how the universe moves through you effortlessly, no resistance, no distance, no separation. This is who you've always been, a being of pure frequency, endlessly tuning, endlessly creating, endlessly expanding. You don't have to chase. You don't have to prove. You don't have to beg the universe to listen. You only have to remember your power to tune. Because when you tune in, you don't just attract your dreams, you become them. Stop trying to attract what is already yours. Just tune in, and let reality meet you where you already are.